What is going on, YouTube? I am back with another movie review. Today, I will be talking about a movie that I actually saw Monday night. I wanted to do this yesterday. Um, I wanted to do this yesterday, but I was just basically too tired to do it. So I've decided to do it today. So today I'm going to be reviewing again a movie that I saw Monday night. I'm going to be reviewing the new David Ayer movie that's out in theaters right now, starring Jason Statham, A Working Man. Um, this movie is very, very, very similar uh, uh, to David Ayer's last movie that came out last year, The Beekeeper. There are a lot of similarities. Um, there are a lot of similarities between The Beekeeper and this. They very easily could have called this The Beekeeper 2, but obviously they chose not to. But so this movie, you have Jason Statham as a retired who is a retired ex Royal Marine commander, and like I said, he's retired, but he is now working in construction, and the family that basically runs the construction site, they are basically his family. um his wife his wife passed, so they are basically his family. The family that runs, the husband and wife that run the construction site, and their teenage daughter, and she ends up getting kidnapped. The daughter, ends up getting kidnapped, and he is basically tasked, with going to rescue her. um and this movie was actually written by Sylvester Stallone and Jason Statham, um, which I thought was pretty interesting. Um, the This was definitely more. Um, this definitely felt more action driven. Um, compared to the Beekeeper. I mean, the Beekeeper was obviously, very much an action movie, but I feel like the choreography, the camera work this time around, um, with this compared to the Beekeeper is a little bit more. uh I it's it wasn't as well shot as the Beekeeper was. um it was kind of some of the action scenes, uh were, um not, some of the camera work and some of the action scenes, I didn't particularly think were very good, though the action sequences themselves were fantastic. Like what was going on, in the uh like what was going on in that action sequence, like the stuff that Jason Statham was doing, I thought was great. um this is very much a movie. um this is a great movie if you just want to see, Jason Statham be, Jason Statham, basically, because there really isn't much of a difference between the character that he played in The Beekeeper and the character he plays in this movie. Um they're very much um they're very, very similar. um So that is the plot is, the plot is good. Um, like I said, he is tasked with going to rescue, um, the daughter of, of his, the daughter of this, family. Um, and that he is, that it's basically sort of, like taking him, that have basically sort of, like taken him in, um, that have basically sort of, like taken them in and just, they're he is, they are basically, his family. His wife passed. He has a daughter of his own, but for the most part, they are, his family. Um, the It looks like that the he used and remember this is a David Ayer movie, so it looks like that David Ayer used a different choreographer this time around compared to the Beekeeper. The Beekeeper, I thought was definitely choreographed a lot better than this was. Um, some of the plot points in this movie, uh, particularly there's one scene. I'm not going to get into spoilers in this review, but there's one scene where uh where he goes to a bar and um he goes to a bar and I'm sitting there thinking, like what does this have to do with what does this have to do with him uh going to get you know you know uh what does this have to do with him rescuing their daughter, whose name I can't remember right now. Um, some stuff like that kind of annoyed me. There were some things about the movie, um, that I felt weren't really relative to the plot. Um, some of those moments I thought, that they could have left out and it wouldn't have, like impacted the movie overall. Um, but with those, with some of those plot points, you're probably asking, are you going to be bored? No, you're definitely not going to be bored, but um, you're definitely not going to be bored. It is still a very, very um entertaining movie. Um, I didn't like this as much as The Beekeeper. Um, it does look like that they set this up for a sequel. Um, there's something, I won't get into spoilers, but there is something there is something that happens towards the end of the movie that does imply that they're setting it up for a sequel. Um, but um, but one thing I can definitely tell you though, the um Jason Statham is just as badass in this movie as he was in uh The Beekeeper. He like I said, the character that he plays in this movie compared to The Beekeeper is very, very similar. And obviously, they're both David Ayer movies. So but no, it was a fun movie. It was an entertaining movie. I'll probably get it, when it comes out. Um, I'm gonna give I'm gonna recommend this. Um, it has the acting is solid, the action sequences are great. Um, the action sequences are great. Uh, my only issue with this, apart from the stuff that I mentioned, is I thought why the daughter was kidnapped, I thought was kind of stupid. Again, excuse me, sorry. Again, I won't get into spoilers, but when they revealed why, she was kidnapped, I was like, okay, that's dumb. Um, Originally, I thought uh, there's an action sequence at the beginning of the movie, and um, there's an action sequence at the beginning of the movie, and I thought originally my thought process was, oh well, maybe maybe this leads into why she was kidnapped, but apparently that had no effect on that whatsoever. Um, so yeah, no, this like I said, it was an entertaining movie. Um, the Bratva are um who are the Russian Russian mafia. Jason Statham ends up they are the ones that kidnap the daughter, uh that kidnap the daughter, and Jason Statham is again tasked with rescuing her. But yeah, no, I'm definitely, I'm gonna say go see it. um it's not it wasn't as good as The Beekeeper, but again, if you like David Ayer, if you like again, if you like Jason Statham, if you like David Ayer's movies, um this one's worth watching. This one is worth your time. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you've seen it and what you thought of it. Like, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.